Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Pipecraft. Hope you guys are doing good. In the previous video, we have learned the user inputs. If you guys haven't checked that video, go check it out. Today, we're going to learn something very important called data types. So let's understand what data types are, what are integers, floats, and booleans, and how to check the data type of a variable using the type function. So without any further delay, let's get started. What are data types? Before learning integers, floats, and booleans, let's first understand what a data type is. A data type, tells Python what kind of information is stored inside the variable. Let's say if a variable stores a whole number, then the Python treats that whole number as an integer. If that's a decimal, it treats as a float. If it stores like a true or false statement or a decision making statement, it stores like a boolean. So every value in Python belongs to a particular data type. So we'll learn one by one. So we'll move to the first one, integer. An integer is a data type, you know, which is used to store whole numbers. Integers do not contain a decimal point. Let's say, for example, 10, 50, minus 15, 125, 0. So where do we use integers? We use integers whenever we're like counting something. Let's say like, we're counting number of students, number of books, the age, marks, like marks counting without the decimal number. So if we go to the next one, float. A float is a data type. It is also a data type used to store numbers with decimal points, like 99.99, 3.14, minus 0.01. These floats mostly measuring something like height, weight, temperature, let's say the average marks, and more. So when we come to the Boolean, the third data type on our list, we use for only two values. It can be used only for two values. Like you can think of it like answering a yes or no question, like true or false one. You use it whenever a program needs to make a decision if it's like the user is logged in or not, has the student passed, um, is it raining outside in that way. So these are the data types. So we'll move on with the integers, which is the first data type on our list. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with first example of our data type, which is integers. I will also mention how to clarify the data type, whether that's an integer or a float. Let's go. So the first example will be age equals, let's say 29, and so this is the integers. There are no decimal points. Now I will print brackets age. So if I run the code, okay. So you're not supposed to leave space at the beginning of the script. Yeah, it shows 29. And if I want to know the data type of, What I will do is I say print brackets type brackets age. Remember, when you want to know the data type of the age, you need to mention these special brackets. You want to keep them, you want to keep the age in another bracket, inside a bracket. Now, if I run the code, it says 29, and you guys see class int. Int means integer. As you guys have seen here, it says output class int. So when this thing pops up, it's like it's an integer. Okay, so we'll move on with let's say age equals 29. Now we'll say students equals 50. Print. Okay. We'll go with students. Students equals 60. Print brackets students. It says 60. Now I want to know the data type. What I'll do is print brackets. So I'm doing this so that I can wrap up things quickly. What I do is uh, put a bracket. I mean, yeah. Then add brackets inside the bracket. You go here and mention type. Come to this bracket which is inside the bigger one. Say students. Now we will run the code. We get the output as class and integer. Int is the short form of integer. So now we will move on to the float. So as I have mentioned, the float it's like numbers with decimal point. So let's say, and we use it for temperature, height, weight, and if you want to measure the average marks in that way. Okay, now we will say, let's say for example, height equals 5.5. Okay, and weight equals 60. Now what we'll do is print height, print weight, and now we will find out the data type of both of these. I will say print height and no, wait a second. Forgot to mention the brackets, type and closing the bracket. We'll say print type weight. So as you can see, the height comes under the float because it has a decimal point, and weight comes under six weight which is 60 comes under whole numbers. Whole numbers which means integers, decimal number, it's a float. So now we will get the output as 5.5 which is the height, 60 weight, class float, which is the height of the person, class int integer 60, because that's a whole number. So you can also combine values and get the output whether the height is a float or the weight in that case. So now we will move on to the boolean. Let's go with it. Now it has you generally use it for a decision making statements like true or false and all those things. Imagine, let's say, for example, is yes, as I mentioned in the previous video, I think did I mention or no? I think yeah, you just forget about it. If you want to leave space, generally, if you want to search like is Yogi a student, what we generally do is we leave some space, which is a syntax error in Python. Instead of leaving space, add underscore and let's say is Yogi a student? Uh, Student is equals true. For true, you need to make sure that the T is always capital. Whether it's true or false, the T and F must be capital. Now let's say print brackets is Yogi student. I'm gonna print it. It says true because we've mentioned that Yogi is a student and true. So if I want to check the data type of it, what I'll do, the same thing, uh, we will say print type, my bad, forward the brackets. So just make sure of these brackets, you'll be good. Type, is Yogi a student? Is Yogi a student? Now it says class BOOL, which is a short form of Boolean. So we will go with the false statement. Let's say mm, apple is uh, vegetable, and I will mention it as false. See, the F is capital. If I put F as small, it will be a syntax error, but you will be notified that error has occurred. You don't have to worry, but make sure the F and T are capital. Now let's say print apple is vegetable and print type apple is vegetable. It says false class BOOL. You can also check whether, see, I'm removing thing. If I, you can also try without mentioning the second statement. Like if I just want to clarify whether this thing is a boolean or not, I'll just run the code. without that second statement. It still says it's a boolean. Now we will combine all of them and make an example. Let's say age equals 40, height equals 5.8, is student equals true. This example, okay, we'll also add a false statement. Student, okay, first we'll try with this one. We have added, well, this is an example combined with integer, float, and the boolean. It says, yes, because we forgot it. Okay, I need to mention that thing. Wait a second. Print brackets. It's very common to make mistakes, guys. No one is perfect, but once you learn it, you'll get everything. Let's say age. Okay, we'll try another thing. I've never tried it before. What if I put a comma over here and add these two? Let's see what's gonna happen. And mention type. So you need to be very creative, especially when you're coding. Let's see how it works. No, it doesn't give you the output. So you need to mention them separately like this. Okay, now let's see. Now it says integer. The first one is integer because there is no decimal point. The second one is float, has a decimal point, and the third one, you guys know what it is. That's a boolean. Today we learned the data types, integers, floats, boolean, and how do you use the type function to check the data type of the variable. Remember, guys, the all these things come under variables, so there is nothing separate thing called variable. In next video, we will learn more Python concepts step by step. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like my video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding, keep smiling. Thank you.